Canada, Justin Trudeau announced that they've got a new project that they're working on. Let's just hear it from him.
Since day one, our government has been committed to protecting the rights of two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and additional sexuality and gender diverse people.
Got it.
That's why I'm so excited.
Did you make that into an acronym?
To announce a historic first, the launch of Canada's first ever 2SLGBTQAI plus.
Oh, you can.
Hold on, what was that again? 2XL CBGBI plus? What was that?
That is a very safe password to use for any of your social media.
Canada is like a parody of a woke country at this point.
Right. This is something that Babylon Bee would have put out like 2 months ago, and it would have been hilarious.
What was
Absolutely.
that acronym again?
2S LGBTQI plus. They even left out even in the title of their own video, they forgot the I. So even they can't get it right on their own damn video where they're announcing this absurdity.
I like how no matter how many letters and numbers, you still have to add the plus in case you left anything out.
Right. Exactly. Let me find. I lost my spot here.
Takers of the land, to mes amis collègues.
Oh, he does this whole speech. He does this. That's another thing. He does this entire speech where he goes back and forth between English and French, and it's like he gives like a paragraph in English, then a paragraph in French. I don't even know if they're the same, but it makes this speech. I watched the whole thing. It's like 10 minutes long, but apparently it's only like 5 minutes long, and he says literally nothing in it. But they're going to spend $100 million on this plan to fight 2S LGBTQI plus discrimination. I'm not sure how that works.
That is the most specific discrimination I've ever heard of. Like, you have to do a lot of time, effort, and research to discriminate against that specific of a group, I would think.
Absolutely.
Geneviève, merci.
Oh, God. Okay. Let's get back to English.
Verna, thank you for those words of welcome onto traditional territory.
Let's not gloss over the name Verna.
Recognize the caretakers of the land, past, present, and future. Geneviève, merci pour tout ton leadership.
Come on.
Merci à tous mes amis collègues ici.
Well, that's not the same paragraph.
Il y a du gros travail à faire, et Marcy, je suis tellement content que tu sois là.
Does everybody in Canada speak both French and English? Because if he's not saying the same thing both times, then is he giving 2 different speeches based on the demographic?
Why does his French sound like Arabic to me?
I don't know.
It could be my cultural ignorance, but
that's very possible.
Could be something else.
To begin with, I just want to take a moment alongside all Canadians right now, the devastating impact that these are having on people across the country.
You're talking about an asteroid now?
Something we're all watching with.
Probably climate change.
Justin Trudeau in devastating impact.
And through the Red
I can't even
Cross.
find the spot.
We estimate this asteroid will kill 300,332 lesbians, and that's why we have to stop it.
Right. Let me. I do have a timestamp link here. Let me pull that back up so we can actually find the stupid thing. Because I did like the whole. It's hilarious because Canada is like Jordan Peterson got in trouble because he didn't want to use certain pronouns. He didn't want to just go along with the things that you are legally required to say in these areas. But they keep making their own jobs more difficult as they add on a new letter, we're into numbers now. We've got punctuation in your algorithm.
I think I saw a pound sign in there.
Right. In your algorithm of a freaking movement. Also, two-spirit. Have you heard of this two-spirit concept, Mark?
No. I mean today, but not before. Can you explain?
Two-spirit, to my understanding, is like some Native American thing that dates way back to probably 20 years ago or something, where they're like, well, people are transgender because some people have two spirits within them, which means that they are, I don't know, they're bipolar, but they're not,
like
or
a
whatever.
Thing?
I guess like they have different personalities inside them. And because the Native Americans believed it, I don't think this is documented back that far even, but they're using it as, see, that means transgender people exist. And it's like, oh, fine, but okay. What does that have to do with sexuality or gender, though? Like, how do you know that the two spirits aren't both female or both male? What are you talking about? Any thoughts, Mark?
I think I have two spirits within me.
How does your Mexican wife feel about two spirits?
I mean, I don't want to presume how she feels. I don't want to speak for a woman.
It'd be
But I haven't
toxic
spoke-
masculine.
I've never gotten her opinion on the two spirits concept. To be honest.
Well, get back to me.
My wife is very much into like new age stuff, and then I like as I try to bring in more rational things, she's like, "Oh yeah, well that is kind of dumb, I guess." So then we meet somewhere in the middle where she still has the sort of the knowledge about it for me, and I have the bring this back down to earth. For her.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm sure they would think it sounds cool until I explained it in the context of Justin Trudeau, and then she would think it was stupid.
Yeah, as soon as you put Justin Trudeau into any movement, it kind of makes it really like it somehow Justin Trudeau being like the face of the 2SLGBTQAI plus movement makes it even gayer than it already was. But going back, like I can't find the link, so we're going to move on. But going back to, this isn't the first time Justin Trudeau has had this issue. Even when it was a little bit simpler, he said this.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
So
Two plus.
I don't know.
God.
I've lost count, but there used to
This
be
is
like
gonna
an
get
A and
fun.
an I
This is
too.
We're in the part of wokeness where it's starting to have become so ridiculous in every aspect that it's tripping over itself constantly.
Right.
So I think we're in the. I don't want to say the downfall of it. I think there's more woke to come, but it's getting to the point where we can almost. I don't know. It's starting to seem less scary and more just this is absurd.
Less scary and more
let's
parody.
watch it burn down. Yeah.
Right. It makes me more white pilled as it gets more ridiculous because more people like there's only so far you can push normal people in going along with your whatever it is. Like I don't care if you're gay or any of these this algorithm of
I
letters.
think we know as libertarians you can only push normies so far.
I'll make myself